in Buffalo. Horace Grant with 11 points, fouled on that play and getting the basket. Scottie Pippen running the floor here and dishing to B.J. Armstrong. Armstrong had 11 points. Pippen dishing the ball well and scoring, taking it himself, splitting the defense. The left hand, Pippen had 10 points as Phil Jackson also got a big night from Michael Jordan, who was back in action. He scored 23. And for Sacramento, Lionel Simmons, the swipe, and Mitch Richmond set up for the jumper. Richmond led the Kings in scoring with 16, but the Bulls win again. Jordan hit just 7 of 18 shots from the floor, and preseason or not, the Bulls 7-0.
The highlights early on, Michael, of course, with the cloud of dust for Johnny Red Kerr to get going. But Michael came out cold, a scoreless first quarter for MJ. But his teammates picking it up. Let's drop it on Scottie Pippen, sending it in with the right hand. Bulls by 5 after 1, then the alley-oop to Horace Grant. 16 for Horace on the night. Jordan, when he wasn't swishing, he was dishing, as Walt Clyde Frazier would say. Rodney McRae for 2. Bulls by 10 at the half, and Michael still couldn't catch fire. But the Pacers come out strong in the second half. Reggie Miller rips cord for 3. He had 17. Then Detlef Schrempf for 3, rattles it home. Then fading and getting it to fall. The Pacers led by 5 after 3. And in the fourth, up 5, Michael driving, trying to take over, but Pooh Richardson gets the steal and the hoop, and the Pacers lead by 7. Michael says, Mr. Official, my coach is a little unhappy, but I will take over right here. Pippen to Jordan. Baseline, right-hand jam, Bulls down 5. Then MJ will back in. Using the window, it's a 3-point Bulls deficit. Then they take a 1-point lead. Jordan, hey, look at the Pacers. They play Usher. They say, Michael, this way to the goal. Hey, how about somebody stepping up and taking a charge? Great goal by Jordan, tongue wagging, gets the hoop. He had 24 and 12 assists as the Bulls win by 5. Especially Detroit's Isaiah Thomas, 8 for 38 shooting in his first 2 games, and nicked up after he butted heads with B.J. Armstrong. He would return, but Michael was there, of course, down the lane. Bulls up by 2 after 1, and Jordan steps outside for the 3. Bulls up 6, 38-32, low scoring first half. Isaiah, after getting stitches, comes back and catches fire. One-on-one with B.J. Armstrong, uses him, gets the bump and gets the shot to go. And the Pistons getting back in. Now time running down. Third quarter, watch Isaiah work out of the double team, throw up a prayer, and find the answer. And the Pistons led by 1 after 3. Look at it one more time. Isaiah had 15 in the third quarter alone. Now the game tied at 86. Michael to win off the iron. Detroit will have a chance to win. They go to the hot hand. Isaiah, he drew iron, and we go to overtime with Ron Rothstein's team. And in OT, Joe Dumars takes over. Watch the lean and then the fading shot over the outstretched Jordan, and the Pistons lead by 2. Time running down, 7 seconds. Dumars again off the screen, hits an 18-footer. Pistons by 1, 4 seconds left. That is Michael time.
Inbounds a cart right to Jordan. Time winding down. Michael for 3. Yeah! 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 Yes! 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 A winner! Unbelievable!
What else is new? Michael at the buzzer, 13 of 24 shooting for his 37 points, and a great one in overtime. Chicago wins by 2. Isaiah had 32, Dumars 22. The Pistons have lost 6 in a row at the stadium.
Horace Grant, the outlet to Michael Jordan here, and the tongue is out, and you know what's coming. Bulls led by 14. Pippen, one of his 12 assists. Grant finishing it off. Grant lit up Leitner with 24. Now, who is the one guy in the NBA you don't turn your back on? You know it. Jordan backdoor with the slam. Pippen in the open court finds Grant cutting. Sorry, Luke Longley. More Jordan using the pick, sliding between Longley and Bailey for the layup. And then he just happens to be in the right place, right time for the steal, slamming it home. Bulls up by 23 at the half. Jimmy Rogers with some new strategy to stop Jordan. Yeah, right. Jordan pulling up, swishing the 3. Jordan finished with 32 points. He didn't even bother to play the fourth quarter. Bulls win 124-103.
Here's Michael, who had 40 on the night. Here's Charles, who had 22 on the night. But it was more Michael than Charles, as Michael pulls up and hits nothing but the bottom of the net. And then it's Barkley going strong to the hole, past Horace Grant, the kiss off the glass, and then Michael took over. He had 28 first-half points. The degree of difficulty, you decide yourself. Inside, outside, 1 on him, 2 on him, surrounded, it didn't matter. He did everything, not only on offense, but also on defense. The turnaround on Cedric Ceballos. And guess who's coming to dinner? Michael says, get it out of here, to Cedric Ceballos. These guys had a pretty good road trip. Got stung, though, in the Forum on Friday night, where Michael had over 50. You know, he's had over 40 points 146 times in his career.
BJ with the J. No good, but that's okay. Michael's there to clean it up and put it back. Also starring the other dream teamer on the court, not just Scottie Pippen, but Mullen, too, the rainbow jumper. And then runs off his man and hits the J. Mullen had 20 at the break. The Warriors up 2. Second half, Jordan gives Chicago the lead with a 3. And more Michael. Backing down Jeff Greer, whoever they put on him. Couldn't stop. Who can stop that? Bulls by 7. Now it's Michael on the other end. Defensively, trying to stop Mullen, but he doesn't stop the runner off the window. The Warriors within 1 late in the game. But Michael says, my turn, takes over with the jumper. Jordan on this road trip on fire, averaging 42 in the West Coast. The Bulls win again. What a surprise. They scored 12 of the last 15 to win by 9. MJ just 49 points. Third straight game over 40. He's averaging 35 per for the 9-2 Bulls. Mullen had 32. Golden State still the only team in the league without a win at home.
And Larry Bird watching in Boston. Horace Grant misses. Sherman Douglas, the pass. Xavier McDaniel for the jam, but blocked by Scottie Pippen, who gets it back out to B.J. Armstrong, who pulls up for the jumper, and the Bulls had a 51-44 halftime lead in Boston. But the second half, Reggie Lewis had scored 22 points in the second half for Chris Ford and the Celtics to help turn Boston around. And then Reggie starting it with defense, taking it away from Scottie Pippen and bringing it home, getting the Celtics to within 2. Then Lewis picking off the Armstrong pass, drives, misses, but D. Brown is there to follow. Celtics take their first lead of the night. Reggie Lewis with the rainbow, a season-high 32 points, 7 assists, and 4 steals as the Celtics win. Bird attending his first Celtic game of the season. Again, Michael Jordan did not make the trip because of the sore foot. He's expected to play Friday night when the Blazers play in Chicago.
Starters Clyde Drexler and Jerome Kersey, and promptly got beaten by the Bulls. Chicago Stadium, the place to be. Look at Ripken, Stewart, McGuire, the men of all seasons, and Jordan answered the bell despite the injured foot. How would he do? Check it out. One-on-one. Watch the smooth turnaround. Jay scores 9 of the Bulls' first 13. Some things never change. Second quarter, watch Buck Williams zip it down low to Cliff Robinson. This guy could play. Backdoor slam. He had 27. Early third quarter, Blazers by 2 at the half. Now watch Jordan sneak in on Scottie Pippen's miss and slam home the miss. Make it good. Another look. It looks just as sweet in slow motion. There he is. Who's blocking him out? Nobody. All alone. Time running down third quarter. Rick Adelman says, we didn't defense that. John Paxson pulls up for the 3 at the buzzer. Good. Bulls by 6, and the Bulls put it in cruise control from there. Jordan had 38, so Michael Jordan puts his best feet forward, including the bad one.
Michael still has a job to do, bring home the bacon, going up against Dominique Wilkins. First quarter, Neek beats Pippen one-on-one and scores over Horace Grant. 9 out of 22 from the floor for Dominique. He did have 42 points in the game. The Hawks up at halftime, 67-54. Jordan answering for his team. Nice move here, and a roll it up and in. 32 points for Michael. 91-79 Hawks. Watch the inbound pass here to Michael. Open for the layup, but wow, he missed it. So Michael's human. Meanwhile, Dominique superhuman at the foul line. 23 out of 23. That's a new record, an NBA mark. And Kevin Willis, they needed his offense to clinch it. He scored 31. And the Hawks knock off Jordan and the Bulls, 123-114.
Didn't matter to Michael who was there. Jordan with a fake in the J, 17-6 Bulls. Jordan with a steal behind the back to B.J. Armstrong, who starts the break, finds Scottie Pippen for the lay-in. Bulls by 13. Jordan, though, doing it all from half court. The alley-oop to Pippen. Bulls lead by 11 at the half. Michael smiling because he was working on a triple-double. Second half, Michael down the lane, switches to the left hand, 60-44 Bulls. Then Pippen with the simple alley-oop to Jordan. Isn't this getting boring? Jordan with 28 points. They go on to a 108-91 victory. Said a lot. The block on Pippen. 5 blocks in the game for Hakeem. Then in the second up, Pippen makes the bullet pass to Grant, who dunks it. Rockets, though, led by 2 at the half. Second half, Hakeem unstoppable. The fading J on the baseline over Mr. Bill. Akeem likes that spot so much, he did it again. Over Horace Grant and Scotty Williams this time. And yes, the same spot. This time over Stacey King. Akeem with 28 points. Rockets led by 15. The Bulls come back, though. Who else leads a comeback? This guy, Michael. Bulls cut the lead to 5, but the Rockets were just too much. The ball will end up in Robert Horry's hands. The huge jam over Stacey King. The Rockets run away. Chicago had 18 turnovers in this game. It led to 23 Houston points. It was the Bulls' 6th loss at home. Last year, that didn't happen until January 28th.
To Chicago, the champs, hosting Charlotte, and the Bulls came out firing. Michael Jordan draining the pull-up 3. He had 16 in the first. It was that kind of night for the Hornets. John Paxson, the alley-oop to Scottie Pippen, and the onslaught was on. Alan Bristow, nice tie, but an 11-point deficit. Third quarter, more great passing, finished by Horace Grant. The Hornets would stay close. Watch Muggsy. Quick hands on Jordan with the steal. Who's going to help out and close it out? Larry Johnson sending it in, but too much Pippen. Watch Scottie take off from the circle and throw it down with the right hand. Alan Bristow's team loses by 15. Pippen and Jordan combined for 51, and they're shorthanded with Harvey Grant out of the starting lineup with shin splints on Thursday night. So Tom Gugliotta would have to take over some of the offense. Some people, Pat Riley, Pat Ewing, said he can do the things that Larry Bird did, the myriad of things. He's not on Bird's caliber. He's got a long time to go, but you see outside and inside, Gugliotta has a very versatile game. What a tough shot there. Harvey Grant in civvies liked it, but for the Bulls, here's a guy who can do everything. Michael Jordan off the alley-oop got pushed in the back by Rex Chapman, and Robin Ficker, who read Michael the Jordan rules last year, trying to rattle him again, but you can't. Pippen to Jordan. Michael was just 12 of 29 from the field. Wes Unseld tried to stop him with the defense. Didn't matter. Fast break broken up by B.J. Armstrong. Goes the other way. Now watch it go the other way. Grant starts it to Jordan. Perfect alley-oop to Pippen. In the third quarter, the Bulls led by 14. But Googs would bring the Bullets back. The former NC State star. Nice pass. That was his only assist of the evening, but to Michael Adams, and the Bullets cut the lead against Phil to 4. Phil Jackson lost the gum out of his mouth, but Michael hung on to the ball and hung on to the lead. He missed 12 shots in the game, but had 11 of the last 13.
In the NBA's Eastern Conference, but the Heat had hope, knowing that the Sixers had pulled off a Bulls upset just 2 nights before. That's when Michael Jordan had a triple-double, but in this game, he went cold. First half, missed the fall away. Then, what's this? A miss from the wing? Second half, not much better. Third quarter, the drive to the hoop. He beats everyone except Ronnie Cycli, who rejects him. Michael pleading with the referee for some help. He usually gets it, but he didn't get it here. Miami was helping themselves. The heave to Edwards from Shaw for the lay-in at the buzzer. Heat up by 15 after 3. But in the fourth, Michael would get his act together, hitting there. So after going 0 for 11, he finally hits a field goal. Then he kept it going from 3-point range. I mean, way out. It's good. Then vintage Michael. Just watch this. The jam. Then the fall away for Take That Heat. 18 for Michael. Read all about it. Bulls win, 86-82. Jordan finishing with 18, 15 of those coming in the fourth. And for the record, he missed his first 11 shots. As for Miami, they're 0 for 15 against the Bulls.
Greeting. Harvey would get the better of it with 20 points to Horace's 16. The Bullets led by 3 at the break. Then the Michael show in the second half. Jordan at the wheel, drives by everyone for the layup. Then left Rex Chapman looking for the RX. Inside, score it with 1. Jordan 22 of 37 shooting from the field. Puts it in overdrive, past Doug Overton. Then on the outside, Michael steps up and rips Cord with a 3. He was 6 of 8 shooting threes. Another drive, another one over Overton. You name him. Try to stop him. Look at Rex up in the air and Michael in the goal. And the capper for 3 of a season-high 57 points. Phil Jackson gets career win 200 faster than any coach, but like most of his other wins, overshadowed by the efforts of Mr. Jordan.
Well, Merry Christmas anyway, and that's no bull. First quarter, Michael Jordan, nice drive to the basket and the foul, but that was one of just 6 of 18 that he made from the field the first half. The Knicks much more balanced offensively. Charles Smith, great fake, great slam. Later on, Rolando Blackman, 10 points from downtown, bang. Knicks showing some defense as well. Doc Rivers, the steal. Smith gets it for the lay-in. The Knicks on a 19-5 run to take the lead. Battling all the way. Starks goes up strong. Draws the foul, draws the basket underneath. Then Patrick Ewing over Will Perdue, 12 points in the first half. Phil Jackson rightly worried. Bulls shoot just 35% in the first half. Ewing rejects Michael down low. Knicks by 10 at the half, and the teams evidently switched identities at the break. Jordan with the jumper. Jordan capping the 10-0 run with another jumper. Jordan scored 8 of the 10 points in the run. The Knicks were sloppy all around. Oakley throws the ball away. They had 27 turnovers, most of them in the second half. Blackman takes his seat. He was lucky when he fell down. He hit the floor. The Knicks were doing so badly in the second half. Rivers threw it away. Riley almost threw the ball away. Pippen creates another turnover, dishing to Michael for the jam. Pippen, 16 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 steals. The Bulls win 89-77 in a game in which the Knicks scored just 28 points in the second half.
The Bulls and the Pacers. Indiana had to figure out a game plan to stop Michael Jordan, right? Wrong. This was the Horace Grant show. First, he nails the jumper. Then off the miss by Scottie Pippen, Grant with a tip-in. Finally, Pippen the dish to Grant for the dunk. Grant had 30 points, 20 rebounds, as Chicago won 95.
In Charlotte, the Bulls and the Hornets. And Scottie Williams saving the ball. Watch this, right off the face of Scottie Pippen. Bulls by 5 in the second. Jordan hit the jumper. Then Williams tips the inbound to Stacey King, who gets the lay-in. Then Jordan steals the next inbound. This shot doesn't go, but the Bulls hustling for it. They don't look like guys who've won the championship back-to-back. Jordan gets the jumper. It's a 12-0 Bulls run, and Alan Bristow needs a timeout. Chicago still charging. Jordan, great pass to Horace Grant for the dunk. Michael had 11 assists. Then Grant, the jumper, no good. But Michael there, the rebound and tip in. Bulls by 12 at the half, and add to it the alley-oop to Scottie Pippen. Michael, the long pass to Pippen on the break, who takes it in over Alonzo Mourning. And the Bulls beat the Hornets for the 17th straight time. Jordan with his 26th career triple-double, even though he says it's difficult to concentrate when he plays in Carolina because of ticket requests and other distractions. In warm and wonderful Miami, the Bulls and the Heat, Michael sharpening up. Jordan bumped by Kevin Edwards and then hits the jumper anyway. Michael goes around Ronnie Cycli here, and the Bulls had a 7-point lead in a hurry. But Baby Jordan, that's what he liked to be called in college. Harold Miner for the Heat. Look at him go between the legs and lays it in off the cushion. Miner working on Jordan here. A little showtime before hitting the jumper. He had 10. Miami led by 4 at halftime. But then Jordan slaps it away. And Scottie Pippen's his way to go, Michael. Miner taking a seat and watching Jordan take over from there. The swipe and the slam dunk. Jordan finishing with 39 points, 30 of those in the second half. The Bulls have won 6 straight, and Michael Jordan lit it up. The three-pointer from way out. He puts his team up by 7 in the first. Second quarter, Malik Sealy down low on the assist from Shrimp. Phil Jackson doesn't like it. The Bulls down 7 at halftime. Dale Davis tipping in the rebound. The Pacers maintain that lead. 15 points in the game for Davis. Fourth quarter comeback. BJ steals it. Reggie Miller didn't hold on to it. Jordan finishes. Michael had 39, and then this time on the alley-oop, Scottie Pippen stuffs it. And you can read all about it. The Bulls win again. That's 7 straight. Pacers streak the other way. Indiana has lost 6 straight. Scottie Pippen scoring 18 of his 22. The Richfield Coliseum. Jordan gives it to Pippen, and the Bulls are out to an 8-point lead in the second quarter. But Danny Ferry driving the court misses. Doherty there for the tip into Raleigh. Still Phil Jackson's team up at 1 at the break, or up by 1 at the break. Then Price gets hot, throwing up the three-pointer. And Phil didn't like what was happening. He looked scared here. Brad Doherty with the hoop, and Sim Harvey was fouled. 24 points, 24 rebounds, and Price scores 30 on the night, 23 in the second half. Here's another 3. Also had 13 assists, and it was a blowout. Cavs with Price firing up his team, win it.
Please, Dr. J was there to watch his former team, and this guy, Michael Jordan, with a one-handed rebound, then the no-look outlet to Scottie Pippen for the lay-in. But the Sixers were looking sweet on the break. Hornacek throwing the bomb to Weatherspoon, to Hawkins, back to Spoon for the jam. Sixers 17 points off the break. They led by 7 at the half. Sixers keep breaking. Will you check out this pass through Jordan's legs? Scottie Pippen, though, comes through the block. Phil Jackson had a smile for the moment. Jordan tries to take control. Tim Perry blocking MJ. Perry starts the break, and Tim Perry will finish it. 11 points on the night for Tim Perry. It gets better for the Sixers, that is. Manute Bol blocking Grant, and then Bol blocking Jordan. Sixers bench in shock. Jordan couldn't hit anything. He finished with 30, but he missed 14 of 18 shots in the second half. Sixers 2-0. Against the Bulls this year.
In his Shaq. First quarter, was that staged or what? First quarter, first trip down the court, Shaq the rebound, but Jordan the rejection Then Shaq doesn't give the backside help as Horace Grant gets the uncontested dunk. But Shaq would get better. He gets double teamed, so he hits the wide open Nick Anderson for the lay-in. Then Shaq some offense. The bullet pass from Scotty Skiles. The jumper and a foul. Bulls by just 3 at the break. Second half, all Chicago. Jordan the no-look to Will Perdue, who makes the wraparound to Horace Grant. I said Will Perdue. Then Jordan on the break to Paxson, who misses, but no one puts a body on Jordan. Big mistake. And Shaq knows it, sitting on the bench, seeing the Bulls win by 16 points, 122 to 106. Horace Grant shot 12 out of 15, racking up his 26.
In the first, O'Neal slamming over Perdue. Magic up by 6, but Michael on fire. The J over Anthony Bowie. Then the pull-up J. How about the fadeaway? Jordan had 31 points at the break. Second half, the Magic get physical with Michael as Shaq levels Jordan. So I guess, hey, there was a knockdown by O'Neal. Closing seconds in regulation, Magic down by 3. But a chance for Nick Anderson, who fires and hits. We go to OT. In the extra session, it got interesting. More O'Neal. O'Neal with 29 points, but the Magic bench still concerned. Orlando up by 1. Nick Anderson at the line. He misses, but look at this hustle. The follow and scores. Orlando up by 3. Chicago one last shot. Michael hoping it falls, and that's one that did not fall. And Orlando and the Shaquille O'Neal and company hang on for the dramatic 128-124 win in OT. How about Michael Jordan? 64 points.
An eye on Derek Coleman and the Nets. First play of the game, the Bulls said, hey, we're going to hustle. Pippen missed it, but gets it right back and gets 2 of his 18 on the baseline. Bulls by 8 after the first, and Drazen Petrovic was really cold in this game. 5 of 17, but look at the long-range 3 there, which he drains. Bulls on the run. Pippen, beautiful no-look pass to Horace Grant. 15, Bulls by 14 at the break. In the fourth, Nets get close. Petrell, the alley-oop to Derek Coleman, 2 of his 22. Nets within 6, but they can't get closer. Jordan on the alley-oop, 2 of his 30. B.J. Armstrong killed the Nets. 7 of 9 shooting, 18 points. Chuck Daly said, we're not quite ready for prime time. The Nets lose at home by 13, playing the second half without Chris Morris, who injured his hip. Now 8 straight for the Bulls over Jersey. One reason why, the depth. The net bench outscored by 20, and the Bulls' stifling defense forcing the Nets into mistakes that cost Jersey a win.
First quarter, Scottie Pippen just missing badly. Muggsy Bogues, the outlet. And watch David Wingate when he gets the basketball. 55 with a 360. Off glass and in, and the Hornets up by a deuce. In the first, second quarter, Bill Cartwright rejected by Zoe Morning. Del Curry pushing it up the floor to Bogues, who gives to Kendall Gill with a big finish. And the game was tied at 40. Later in the second period, Will Perdue leaves it for Scottie Pippen. The dunk with authority over Morning. Now still second quarter action. Muggsy Bogues would intercept the pass on the Bulls break. Out to Kendall Gill and over to LJ. Larry Johnson, who throws it up for Gill for the slam. The game was tied at 55 at the half. What a great game this was. Tight throughout. Third quarter, David Wingate missing underneath, but Alonzo Mourning is there for the putback. Charlotte led by 5 at the end of 3 quarters. On to the fourth quarter. Mourning blocking Pippen. Wingate comes up with this scramble up the floor to Larry Johnson, who lays it up and in, and Charlotte going to town in Chicago, a toddling town. 91-85 in the fourth quarter. The Hornets are 0-8 all-time in Chicago.
And this lost only once in the new year, and John Lucas, one of the main reasons, got them playing great ball, but there's no defense for this. The alley oops, but somehow it still goes. Scott Pippen made only one of his first 11 shots, but the first one was rather extraordinary. Michael Jordan wasn't missing much, knifing the lane and slamming, but the Spurs had command. They had a 15-point lead in the first half. Bulls break in the second half, and a big third quarter, and Pippen rocking and rolling again. And the Spurs lead is suddenly down to 1. B.J. Armstrong simply hammered by Avery Johnson, but the free throws gave the Bulls the lead. San Antonio about to see it slip away when they go to Dale Ellis for the big one. A three-pointer, they're back up 98-96. Time running down, John Lucas stressing the D. Phil Jackson going to his go-to guy with time running down. The Admiral in his face, Jordan falls away, but it won't go. The Spurs get the rebound and hold on and knock off the Bulls, and things just keep on rolling for Lucas and company. 103-99 over the defending champions.
On hand to watch the Bulls beat up on the Mavs. First quarter, Stacey King, the miss inside, but Scottie Pippen is there. Bulls up by 18 after 1. Second quarter, Will Perdue to Michael Jordan, back to Perdue. Bulls up 27 at the half. In the third, shot clock running down. Jordan pulls up for the 3. He misses it, but the hustle gets his own rebound and scores. MJ with just 15 points in this game. They didn't need him. Bulls up by 38. Next series, Horace Grant with a steal. and then to Stacey King. King with 2 of his 19. Bulls win this one easily, and Jordan was just laughing over how easy this game really was. Chicago's largest margin of victory this season.
Of course, we wondered what he'd been doing these days. George Bush, part of the sellout crowd, watching the Rockets in the first quarter. And Hakeem Olajuwon getting 2 of his 18, also had 17 rebounds. Scottie Pippen, the alley-oop to Michael Jordan, who scored 26 in the game. Then in the third quarter, Robert Horry, the rookie from Alabama, who will be in the slam dunk contest, misses, but then follows to put it back in. Phil Jackson said, hey, that should not count, and the officials were right on top of this, and an excellent call. They ruled offensive interference, no basket, but hey, great effort. Fourth quarter, the Rockets add to their lead as Vernon Maxwell, the hoop and the harm, and the president in a hurry to beat traffic. No more motorcade since he's not in the White House. The Bulls have just 1 win in their last 13 games at the Summit.
It was one Michael Jordan and his teammates remembered because he was ejected and then lost in triple overtime. They don't like him much in Utah anyhow. He said he doesn't like playing the All-Star game there because he can't get his golf game in. He couldn't get the ball to go in as well as many of the Bulls had problems with in the first half. Jordan booed every time he touched the ball, but he hit mostly air the night until that halftime shot got him back within 5. They had been hopelessly out of it. Then Karl Malone went wild. 17 points in the third quarter. He was unstoppable. Jazz led by as many as 20, blowing the Bulls out of the building. The fans letting Jordan know what they felt about him, and Jordan responding with a huge fourth quarter. Single-handedly putting the Bulls back in it, hitting from everywhere. Comes down and hangs and banks that in, puts them within 1. The Bulls came back to tie it, and then Jordan decoys and finds B.J. Armstrong in the corner for a long 3. They've got the lead. The Jazz, with David Benoit taking an inadvisable shot to try and get back in it. Taking on the Blazers, Michael Jordan perhaps remembering back to last spring and taking a page out of it. He skies for the board, says, I'll be back later. I've got something to do. He goes up the court and then fires a bullet to Scotty Williams, who jams it home. And the Bulls open an early lead, and that's been bad news for the Blazers lately. Jordan bombing away, had 3 threes in the first half. Then another move right through the Blazers and wrapping around and getting the row. Rick Adelman wants to take a timeout and reconsider this and maybe check it out on a TV monitor. That's what it looked like from underneath. Jordan with 2 dozen in the first half, and he was just getting started. The fall away. Bulls were up by 10 at the break and then really opened it up in the third quarter. Jordan nails the 3 and then winks for his dream team commentator, Magic Johnson, at the table, and then vintage Jordan. The slam, he had 34 points and 11 rebounds. It's the 5th straight time he's gone over 30. His fellow dream teamer Pippen adds 23, including the finals.
And early, Reggie Miller bumps into Michael Jordan, and they go after each other and start a little fracas. Michael with the eye rake, looked like the World Wrestling Federation there, pushing and shoving. It looks like both did about equal, but guess what? Reggie got tossed, Michael did not. Bob Hill was furious. He went over the hill and he got tossed, ejected from the game, as was the Pacers' leading scorer, gone for the night. But Rick Smits picked up some of the slack. He had 24. The Pacers were up 12, coached by Ed Badger, the assistant coach. But the All-Stars take over. Jordan still in the game and making his mark. He only had 40 points on the night. And then Trent Tucker sets up Scottie Pippen, who had 26 in the second half. Pippen and Jordan had 70 of the 115 for the Bulls. On average, the two are 49% of the...
It's all about money, you know? If he'd have got thrown out, half the people would have left. The vendors would have lost money, scalpers would have lost money, ball boys would have lost money, everyone would have lost money. Referees are ridiculous in doing that. I don't care how much they fine me for what I say. I mean, because that's disrespect.
I don't consider it a double standard.
Jordan, back from his suspension, the Bulls hosting Cleveland. Now, seconds left in the first. Craig Elo, dynamite from 3, hits. Cast by 2 after 1, the former Cougar, quieting the stadium crowd. Third quarter, Jordan here missing the J. Darrell Walker, Walker with a putback, Bulls by 1 after 3. In the fourth, Price, a sweet pass to Doherty for the slam, 25 for Brad. Now over a minute left, Bulls down by 2. Jordan ties the game at 111. On the other end, Elo hits his 6th 3 of the game. That sealed it for the Cavs. 116-111 your final. Cavs send the Bulls to their third straight home loss. The question is, would the Bulls struggle with 3 of their starters out with injuries? Bill Cartwright, Horace Grant, John Paxson, part of the Bulls' best-dressed bench. The replacement starters played pretty well. King to Scott Williams for the slam. Williams at 10. Kings came out running, but ended up running it to this guy, Scottie Pippen. The block on Randy Brown. Terrell Walker having some fun with Gary St. Jean. Oh, yeah, Michael Jordan was a factor, finishing off the alley-oop from Pippen. 20 for Jordan in the second alone. More Jordan gets contact from Simmons. Big deal. Hits the off-balance Jay. Jordan finished with 32, but not all of Phil Jackson's players sparkled.
He is the worst NBA player I've ever seen close to the basket.
He is Ricky Blanton. Blanton stuffed by Pete. She'll cut Blanton with the whole lane open. Misses the wide off the glass. Blanton, check this out, misses even straight down the middle. Wow, even with Blanton, Bulls did win by 18. We'll stop ripping Ricky. He did score 4 points in this game. Scottie Pippen added 26.
Chicago trying for its 7th win in 9 games, and Michael making sure they'd get it. First quarter, great move here on the reverse lay-in underneath. Bulls on a 13-4 run. Trent Tucker misses. Scottie Pippen follows with a one-handed stick. Bulls by 10 after 1. Second quarter, shot clock winding down. Look at Michael, his shooting style. Following it in, he hit the 3. 27 points, actually rested in the 4th quarter. Here, Jordan to Pippen, over to Stacey King. A 13-point Bulls lead at the break. Second half, Jordan driving around Mark Eaton, who stands there like a tree trunk and will produce slam. Dunks it. Then Pippen, the high handoff to Jordan, and the Bulls roll over the Jazz. Not close this time. Scottie Pippen added 14. B.J. Armstrong had 15 points.
As usual, Stockton to Malone. Malone had 28. Stockton had 15 assists. 13 of those assists coming in the first half, and saying, go on ahead, Carl. You're paid to do that. I'm paid to do that. Michael Jordan, paid to do this. Michael had 30. The kiss and the foul. Julia saying, yeah, he is number 1. Shaq had 14. They weren't quiet 14. Bill Russell looking on at the rookie and his rise on defense. How about the rejection by Hakeem? Then at the other end, Stockton finds Thunder Dan. Marley had 18. And the rejection on Michael. Then missing the layup. All Michael could do was laugh. More of the strange, though. Shaquille, well, Wilt Chamberlain said he didn't think he had a jumper. Take that, Wilt. Pat Riley saying, well, I thought Patrick should have started, but thanks, Shaq. I'll take the points. Hardaway to the Admiral, who had 21. The East on the break. Mark Price, the three-point shooter, says, Joe, no. Dominique, Neek had 9. Then they got serious. Barkley and Pippen, get out of here. Down the stretch, Thunder Dan. 3 threes on the day and nothing but the bottom of the net. Mark Price, 6 threes on the afternoon. Price says to Marley, anything you can do, I can do better. With a little luck. This one, though, good. And back they went. Karl Malone inside. The West up by 5. Price was not done, saying don't celebrate too early, guys. Price buries it. And Pat Riley says, thank you. A 2-point game. Patrick Ewing didn't get to start, said he should have started over the Shaq, says we'll take that, and we'll go into overtime. In overtime, Stockton, using the pick and roll as he always does, buries the jumper. And then using the pick and roll again, and dishes off to Charles. He's added a 3 to his arsenal, and it was a big 3. And it's a victory, as Charles says, hold me, I'm falling. 135, 132 the final. Malone, 28 points, 10 rebounds. Stockton had 15 assists. Michael had 30, but didn't have a good shooting effort. David Robinson, as I mentioned, with 21 points, also had 10 rebounds. Mark Price almost single-handedly bringing the East back, or at least keeping them in contention with 6 threes. Following the game, it was the mailman who said he was nervous making his rounds.
Right before this game, right before I ran on the court, I had more butterflies than normal, and I don't know if it was because I wanted to do well in front of home fans or what, but I was as nervous as I ever been playing, even before my first NBA game.
We were fortunate to win. That has a lot to do with it. The plays would run a lot towards Carl and myself. That had a lot to do with it, and I don't think it's any indicator whether the up-and-coming guys have to wait their turn or if the older guys are hanging on. It's just kind of the way it goes.
My intention was to put Shaquille back into the game, and I thought he had an outstanding game for a first year All-Star.
I would have liked to have been out there, but I guess Pat Riley wanted the more experienced guys in there, and it's all right. I'll be a vet next year. Every player has has some respect for themselves and for their game. So when they play in these situations, you know, they want to play hard. They want to keep that respect. They want to see how well they compare against some of the other players.
For a rookie, Shaq's getting away with murder out there.
Yeah, he gets a lot of calls now. I don't know. That's a lot of respect those guys show them.
I don't get calls. I'm just a hard worker. I think they never seen a rookie do the things that I do, so they assume that I get calls, but I'm just out there banging and dunking.
4% in the first half. Great passing in the second quarter. Great teamwork to Darryl Walker to Horace Grant. 84% in the first quarter, not the first half. Bulls by 9 at the break, but Frank Burkowski had 24 to get the Bucks back in it. Scare here. John Barry goes up. Jordan goes to block him. Anthony Avent runs into Jordan. Michael hurts his back, but would come back. But while he was out, the Bucks take advantage. No day, but Mayberry, and it's Mayday for the Bulls as the Bucks get within 1 on this 3, but then it gets sloppy. Watch Avent and Blue Edwards help out the Bulls. They didn't need that help because Jordan came back, hit 8 of the last 15 points for the game, at 34. He does have a bad back. They're going to take precautionary x-rays.
At the arena, and Jordan, he'd have probably played this one on crutches. First play of the game, ankle didn't bother him on this shot. He had 20 points at the half, and with Cartwright out of there, Shaq attacking Will Perdue. O'Neal inside, good position. He had 14 at halftime, but the Bulls dominating the first half. Scottie Pippen through the lane, 64-44. Chicago at the break, and not a happy birthday for Matt Gukic. Third quarter, Jordan, look at this assist to Horace Grant, who had 18. The Bulls leading by 24. It looked like a blowout, but here come the Magic. Scott Skiles lit it up, firing up the 3. The lead cut down to 5, then 3:49 to play. Jordan missing the jumper. Pippen drills Jeff Turner with a vicious left hand. Skiles, Grant, Perdue, Shaq, everybody gets into it. Turner was ejected from the game. Pippen thrown out with 24 points in the game. And Michael picks up the slack. The nice fake, the spin move, and the bank shot. The Bulls leading 103-95. The Magic cut that lead down to 3. Then Shaq getting the dunk and the foul for a 3-point play. We got a tie game. Can you believe that? Phil Jackson can. After a couple of free throws by Trent Tucker, the Bulls leading by 2. Nick Anderson for the tie. Shaquille for the tie on the follow. Cannot get it done. The Bulls hang on, and yeah, happy to get away with a W here after that 24-point second half lead evaporated. They still pull it out facing the Hawks. You got to look at some of Chicago's injured. Off the bench, Trent Tucker with 3. Dominique answering for Atlanta. He had 25 in the first half, but the Bulls led by 5. Second half, Michael gets into it with a 3. Jordan with 34, the soft jumper. But Chicago actually needed Trent Tucker, who hit somehow at the end of the third quarter that 3-pointer. He was 6 of 6 from 3-point range, 9 of 9 from the field. He didn't miss a shot. Outstanding.
2 weeks with a fractured bone in his left hand, and yes, he was missed. Chris Morris with a big steal, leading the break, a 4-on-1 break. So how do you blow this? Well, B.J. Armstrong knows how you blow it. He knocks it away, gets to Michael Jordan, to Armstrong, to Pippen, to Jordan, who jams. Bulls up by 4. Late first, Nets hang tough. Derek Coleman, the drive, the dish to Mahorn. Ends up in Coleman's hands again, and he takes care of it. Nets up by 2. Second half, though, was all Bulls. B.J. to Michael. Bulls up by 4. Now, shot clock running down. Jordan nailing the 3 as it expires. He does that so well. Bulls up by 10. Then Jordan, tongue wagging and all, puts the Bulls up by 12. Nets try to come back late, but Morris missing the easy bucket. Chuck Daly says, you got to make those plays. Morris responds. The backboard is shattered. Look at it again. It's worth another look. David Stern was in the audience to witness this. Wonder what he thought about it. Pippen and Michael walking away, wondering, why can't we smash?
1983, questions about his feet. No problem. He had his Nikes on, and he came out firing against the Sonics. From the corner, Michael hits, and then from the top of the key, he hit his first 5 shots as George Karl watched Jordan go to work. Here, going to take it inside. He's fouled 19 points in the first half for Michael Jordan. But Sean Kemp on the assist from Nate McMillan. Looked like a schoolyard play with great results. And then the Sonics running. Gary Payton, the high handoff. Kemp had 19 points in the game. The Sonics led by 5. End of the first half here, Jordan got the Bulls within 3, but limped off the court in the third quarter. The Sonics add to it. Had a chance to blow this game out here. Ricky Pierce with the foul. He had 16, but in the fourth quarter, here comes Michael. 38 points in the game, got the Bulls to within 1. And when he was hot, the Sonics cold cold. They shot just 16% from the floor in the final quarter. In fact, Jordan outscored the Sonics all by himself. That jumper gave him a 3-point advantage. He winces in pain, but the Sonics really felt the hurt as Chicago ended up winning by 3. Michael made 15 of 28 shots, 9 assists, 6 steals. Second half, Bulls leading most of the way. Ronnie Cycli with a big night through 2 defenders, 30 points, 23 rebounds. Late in the second, the jumper by Steve Smith. He had 15. Miami has the lead. Closing seconds, Heat by 4. Scottie Pippen the drive, and he is fouled, so the Bulls a chance to get within 1, but Pippen misses the free throw. Glenn Rice grabs the rebound, dribbles it off his foot. It's a 2-point Miami advantage. Minor gets rejected by Pippen. The Bulls come the other way. You see how much time is left. They need 2 to tie, 3 to win. Who's going to take it? Michael Jordan. Who else going to drive baseline? And this time, it doesn't go. Cycli with great defensive help. The Heat hold on to the rebound, and they beat Chicago. A major moment in Miami. The first time the Heat knock off the Bulls ever. A rare Jordan downshift in the clutch. He committed a turnover.
Terry Mills goes off in the first quarter, 7 for 7 from the floor. He pumps, and over Scott Williams, he hits. Pistons lead by as many as 17, but a certain Mr. Jordan may have something to say about that. With the line drive going down, he has 10 in the quarter. And then Jordan does it on the defensive end, the steal and the feed to Darrell Walker. And it is tied after 3. Joe Dumars takes the high route to a milestone. More on that in a minute. It's tied at 95. Chicago down by 1 late. Scottie Pippen tries to put the Bulls ahead. It rings out, goes over the top. That's out of bounds. Down 2, Phil Jackson's team gets one more chance with 4 seconds left, but B.J. Armstrong's 55-footer isn't exactly the way he drew it up. And the final is Detroit 101 and Chicago 99. Joe Dumars clears the 10K mark.
So what else is new? Jordan doing it up nicely on the baseline. He put the Bulls up by 4 over the Clippers. Time running out in the first. Jordan, the steal. Jordan, the slam. 23 for Michael, a 9-point Bulls lead. Clippers did not die. Mark Jackson, some nifty moves. The pass to Norman, one of 16 assists for Jackson. Then Harper, a pretty play. Clippers on a 16-zip run. They led by 7 at the half. Jordan not happy. Fourth quarter, Pippen turns it on. 11 points in the fourth for him. Bulls up by 4. Clippers still hanging tough. Ron Harper nailing the tough shot. Clippers down by just 2 late. Larry Brown looking tense. He should be. Bulls clinging to a 4-point lead. B.J. took the game away. B.J. Armstrong doing the job down the stretch. Jordan and friends escape with a victory.
It's Michael Jordan and Will Perdue talking strategy. Jordan says, look, Will, don't touch the ball. Leave it to me. Michael Jordan, good. Because, Will, when you touch the ball, we're in trouble. Michael Jordan, good. 19 in the first quarter for Michael. Second quarter, more Michael. The move and the tongue out and the scoop and the hoop. And then he takes LaBradford Smith. Now, LaBradford had 37 against Michael Friday. 36 in the first half for Jordan. Phil Jackson knows what's coming. Off the glass. Looks like one of the shots in that commercial he does. Michael Jordan didn't even play the fourth quarter. You know how many points he had? That's right. 47, 36 of them in the first half.
In Chicago, Michael Jordan, a little bit disgusted with himself after 3 for 12 shooting. LaBradford Smith lighting it up at the other end, hitting the jumper. Michael Jordan gets it going in the fourth, putting the Bulls up by 1. 2 minutes to go. Harvey Grant spins, nails it, and the Bullets are up by 1. Go to Jordan, says Phil Jackson. They do. 16-footer connects, and then Scottie Pippen from 18, line drive, got it, and the Bulls go on to win it 104-99.
The pregame meal, he left. Darryl Garrickson gave him a reason with 2 T's. Philly took advantage. Hersey Hawkins flies by Jordan for the hoop and the foul. Sixers by 8 at the half. Third quarter, the Bulls wave gets going. Jordan steals Ron Anderson's pass, and guess what he's going to do? And then Michael Jordan burns Hersey Hawkins and Armin Gilliam for 2. And then in the paint, it's over Armin Gilliam again, allegedly playing defense. Then with time running out in the third, a 3-pointer right at Jeff Hornacek's face. Jordan had 19 points in the third quarter alone. Bulls win it by 13.
Let's unleash those bad boys. Michael and the Bulls, a 1-game lead in the Eastern Conference. Shaquille and the Magic fighting for a playoff spot. First quarter, Shaquille has a lot to learn. The fake out, Scottie Pippen with a jam. Second quarter, the Magic come back tied at 30. There's the jam from Shaquille. He had 20. The Magic led by 2. The Bulls pull ahead late in the second half. John Paxson nails the J. Chicago led by a half dozen at halftime. Third quarter, the Bulls turn it on. Horace Grant slams it home. Scottie Pippen to BJ, who pulls up. And Matty can't quite figure out what to do. Finally, it's Michael's turn. All the way, he had 18 points, well below his season average.
Race was rocking for Michael and Charles, and the stars going after each other and running into the advertisements on the sidelines. Good start for the Suns. Dan Marley, right-hand jam. Phoenix up 36-25 after one. Then KJ, terrific look to the cutting Cedric Ceballos, who was on fire. Suns by as many as 14. Michael brings him back. The drive in traffic and the left-hand dunk. Bulls get to within one, but Barkley backs down Horace Grant and hits the jumper. At halftime, Phoenix leads by 7. In the second, it's Michael again weaving through traffic with the right hand. Puts it off the window. Then Charles again takes Grant down on the box and turns and scores for 2. Late fourth quarter, tied at 100. Jordan, the drive, and the lane goes underhand. He was 19 of 31 shooting, 44 points. Down 2, Paul Westphal takes a timeout, and KJ, a perfectly placed lob to Charles, who slams it home. Then, game on the line. Barkley, great pick on Jordan. Springs KJ down the line of the lane, over Horace Grant for the game-winning hoop. The Suns add some free throws for cushion. It's all hugs and celebration for Phoenix, winning by 4, despite 44 from Michael. Suns improve now the NBA's best road record to 23-11. Ceballos, Barkley, KJ, 76 of 113 for Phoenix. Will Purdue, Stacey King, Scott Williams combined for 6. Suns 5.5 better than Chicago now. Again, the big boys of the East beaten by the Suns. Suns lost first time around. They win on the return.
Game of horse. Michael saying from half court, Larry Bird, good. Oh, that's the McDonald's commercial. For shots that did count, Scottie Pippen, and it counts. And Pippen's old nemesis, the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel, making his mark in the second half. 2 of his 27. Celtics up by 1 at halftime. Third quarter, Bulls take charge. Off the turnover, Scottie says, double pump and look out below. He had 28. Another day at the office for Michael. Bulls outscore the Celtics 33-15 in the third, and Mike can only smile, looking like a Gatorade commercial. 101-89 the final. Afterwards, Scottie Pippen said, defense turned this game around.
Bulls were in Milwaukee, and the Bucks giving him a tough time. Lou Edwards ahead to Lee Mayberry, and Edwards hustling back. He had 24. Second half, Jordan gets Chicago going. P.J. Armstrong, the high handoff, and Michael stuffs it through. Then late fourth quarter, Jordan with the 3-ball that goes. He had 30 in the game. Nice move here in the lane. Chicago trailing by 4. And the back-breaking shot from Brad Lohaus in the lane, the floating hook. That 4-point lead frustrated Jordan and the Bulls. Milwaukee held on to win by that, so the loss.
In this game, we get physical after Michael showed his physical ability. Late first half, ugliness. Scott Williams gets the ball. Laimbeer rakes him across the eyes. A pushback retaliation, and the bench is empty, of course. Pushing and shoving, not a lot of punches thrown in this. As the refs try to sort it out, Darrell Walker in street clothes took a shot at Laimbeer. Laimbeer was ejected for this. Isaiah and Michael get their troops together and say, let's play hoops. Down 19, the Pistons come back. Olden Polynice the putback. Then Rodman the pump fake, and he hits it. The Pistons get within 1, and then more ugliness. Jordan on the drive after stealing it from Rodman, taken down hard by Dennis. Another scuffle ensues. Ron Rothstein was a little upset, and a few minutes later, he was tossed from the game. Under a minute left. Michael at the line hit clutch free throw. Bulls by 3. Brendan Malone, the assistant, designs a play. Terry Mills for the tie. A rim shot. And the Bulls get out of there with a 98-95 win. Chicago has now won 6 of their last 7 on the road. What a fourth quarter by Stacey King. Big performance off the bench on a night when Pippen was in single digits. Miami in Chicago. And how often do you see this? Michael Jordan gets Jordaned by Steve Smith. The baseline move, and Michael knew it. So Michael would have to respond. And he would. On Steve Smith, and Ronnie Cycli using the high part of the window. What a shot. Jordan had 35, and that meant one thing. Will Purdue time in this block. They leave Will alone, and looks like a slam dunk contestant for next year. Speaking of slam dunk champs, Harold Miner came up a bit short on that dunk. You got to see it again. Yee. The rejection by the rim for the guy dubbed as Baby Jordan in college. Chicago wins by 27. They've won 12 of their last 14. But note Scottie Pippen's last 4 games.
Mark Price to Gerald Wilkins, who takes it around Michael, and the Cavs go up by 10 in the first half. Late in the half, Craig Elo, the outlet to Wilkins, and the Cavs by 13. Scary moment for the Bulls. Second half, Scottie Pippen goes down with the sprained right ankle. X-rays would prove negative. but he would leave with 20 points in the fourth. Michael single-handedly trying to keep the Bulls in it. He had 32. This jumper pulls Chicago within 7. Late in the game, the Cavs, good ball movement. Larry Nance, the baseline jumper, balanced attack. 19 points, 12 rebounds. And you can imagine from the look on Phil Jackson's face, he was a loser.
Out for the game with a sprained ankle, but he's a gamer, and he was in there. In the second, the steal and the lay-in, 40-28 Chicago. Michael Jordan from B.J. Armstrong, who had 14 assists. And then Armstrong going to go behind the back as reserves get some time. Stacey King, the Bulls up 63-47 at halftime. Pippen to Jordan. Michael going to get 3. He finished with 28 points. He only played 27 minutes. The Bulls clinched the Central Division.
The home court chase with the Knicks. Check out the center of your screen. Isaiah leveled by Scottie Pippen. Isaiah didn't see Pippen in the high post. Isaiah was scoreless in the first half. Jordan gets going in the second, finding Will Perdue underneath. The reverse from Will Perdue, and the Bulls are up 12. But Dennis Rodman sparks the Pistons. Check out the denial on Rodney McCray. Look what the worm does with it. Keeps it alive. Now late fourth. Jordan at the line trying to ice it. Missed some key free throws down the stretch. Bulls up 3. Joe D for 3. And he hits it to tie the game. Game still tied. Pistons chance to win. Dumars. A rim shot. We go to overtime. Joe D came so close to the win. In OT, Rodman guarded Jordan a little bit, so did Dumars. Nobody could stop him. Michael had 8 in OT, and Ron Rothstein, so many rumors about will he be the coach of the Pistons once the season's over, the season close to being over.
Michael in the enemy's backyard, and early on the Knicks defense was tough. Maybe the most underrated part of this team is their D. Starts, finds Patrick, and look out below. Then Ewing taking on the whole Bull team himself. He had 22. Jack, you're in the wrong building. Michael had 21. Trying to bring his team back in the third quarter, and then Greg Anthony leaving B.J. Armstrong something to think about. John Stark saying, pull my finger. Pull my finger. Mike Saunders says, all right. Late, the Knicks by 3. John Starks had 22. And the Knicks pick up the victory over Phil Jackson, 89-84.
And here's Michael, the real deal, with the tongue hanging out, the jam and the foul along the baseline. Bulls by 5 early. Hawks trying to stay in. Dominique Wilkins spins, stops, drives, hits. 37 points. Time running out to end the first half. Here he is, Michael. Oh, well, why not? Another three-pointer. Another half-court shot at the buzzer. 56-49. Jordan had 15, including those 3 at the first half. Second half, Michael again, baseline, tongue hanging out, 29 points. We've seen it and seen it and seen it, but it's still incredible. Fourth quarter, Bulls by 13. Scottie Pippen with the steal. Bulls on the break to Paxson. Neat pass back to Horace Grant for the slam dunk. 117-102. Bob Weiss says, I used to play for those teams. The Chicago Bulls. Many years ago. 13 steals for the Bulls and a nightmare afternoon for Atlanta's Mookie Blaylock.
Late in the third quarter, Jordan put the Bulls up by 7, but watch now how Jordan lands. He sprains his right ankle. Jordan said he hit a slippery spot. He heard something pop. It wasn't a ligament, but Jordan, still in obvious pain, stayed down for several minutes. He had to be helped off by his teammates. It looked bad at that moment. No surprise, Hawks taking advantage. Dominique Wilkins among them. Hawks down 4 after 3. Now with the lead in danger, Michael returns to start the fourth. Takes over the game. Jordan, the drive and the bucket. Now watch him as he lands. He's still favoring that ankle, but he keeps going. Bulls by 9. Then Scottie Pippen to Jordan, the one-handed stuff, and does that bunny hop thing again. He put the Bulls up by 13. So Michael comes out of the game figuring the lead is safe. No way. Neek, the incredible move. Wilkins with 29 in the game. Hawks pull within 4. So Bulls go back to Michael, and Jordan again making the difference. The great dribble fake here on Dwayne Farrell puts the Bulls up by 6. More Michael nailing the 3. Jordan 39 points, 14 in the fourth quarter. Bulls win 98-88. No one more thrilled with the sweep of the Hawks than Michael Jordan, who said his sore ankle could use the time off.
Well, after sweeping the Hawks in the opening round, it was the Cavs and the Bulls again. Michael and company. Hot Rod Williams blocked by Michael. Terrell Brandon misses. Gerald Wilkins misses. And then out to Brandon, who says, I'm not going to shoot it again. I'll give it to Danny Ferry for 3. Cavs by 7, but they couldn't stop Michael. Some surprise. Horace Grant to Michael, past a swarm of Cavs, and then Michael working the inside magic. 3 on him, 2 in his face, and he buries it. And then Michael guarded by Gerald Wilkins. The Cavs signing Wilkins in the offseason just for this. Well, they wanted more than that. Michael says, let me see. I'll go through two guys, and well, there's a fellow North Carolinian, and right over the Tar Heel, Brad Daugherty. Wilkins trying to stop Jordan, and Michael says, I've shot enough tonight. How about the alley-oop to Pippen? And Scotty says, look out below. And then Michael says, all right, I didn't shoot enough. Let me go right by Wilkins one more time. Michael had 43. And the Bulls pick up the victory, winning it by the final of 91-84. B.J. Armstrong, the only other Bull in double figures. Game 2 set for Thursday night at the stadium.
The guys stepping up, Horace Grant, who didn't let a sprained ankle keep him out of Game 2. Bulls went to him. Jordan to B.J. Armstrong, who can't find the hoop, but Grant does underneath. Bulls up by 2. Then Grant continued to have his way underneath, tipping in another rebound. He hit his first 9 shots. Bulls up by 9. Now, this places it all for the Cavs. 3 unknown break, Price to Daugherty, and that's embarrassing. Bulls up by 14 as Stacey King says Pippen to Michael. It was getting pretty easy. Third quarter, Jordan can't hit the 3, but Scottie Pippen is there for 2 of his 19, put the Bulls up by 20. Then more of Michael, who finds BJ back to Jordan, 18 for MJ. Bulls start the celebrating, but the celebration subsided late in the third. That's because Michael Jordan, playing with a pain in his shooting wrist, tries a free throw left-handed and misses. Jordan had to spend the rest of the game on the sideline as he got reacquainted with the ice bag. Jordan's pain, the story, although the Bulls win.
It's the first test, 4-on-1, and MJ misses the dunk. Bulls were caught up floor. The Cavs go the other way. Brad Daugherty, 2 of his 16 points. Cavs by 3 at the break. Third quarter, tied at 60. Scottie Pippen picks up the scoring slack and not taking any flack. Price and Pippen exchange words and some dirty looks. No one ejected. Fourth quarter, the former Defensive Player of the Year, MJ, the steal and the stick. Bulls by 1. Next time down, the perfect give and go, just like you draw it up. Pippen, 2 of his 28. The Cavs would turn to Larry Nance, 2 of his team-high 24, but the Cavaliers as a team score only 15 in the fourth. MJ was scoring 10 of his game-high 32 in the same quarter. Bulls pull away down the stretch. His tongue is healthy, so is his wrist. 96-90 the final. The Bulls are up 3-0.
At the Richfield Coliseum, Jordan and Brad Daugherty in a game they'll never forget. First quarter, Gerald Wilkins with a steal, gets it to Daugherty, who fakes out Michael and gets 2. 25 for Daugherty. Cleveland led by 8. Second half, Scottie Pippen, who played 44 minutes, takes it down the lane. The scoop shot, he had 17. That tied it at 92. Cavs down 2. Terrell Brandon starts it with defense, takes it all the way. He was in double figures, tied the game at 94. And then Gerald Wilkins from the corner hits the 3. Cavs leading by 3. But Michael Jordan, who had 31 in the game and 24 in the second half, is loose. He's fouled. It's a 3-point play. Brad Daugherty fouled out on the play. The Bulls up by 2. Then tied at 101. 25 seconds left. Craig Elo to put his team ahead, and it does not go. Jordan the rebound. Quickly, time is called, and the Cavs have the look of fear because Michael has the ball with 13 seconds and counting. Tied at 101. Chicago a chance to win. Wilkins on Jordan, knocks the ball loose. Look at the clock. Look at Michael. Wow. Wow. Wow, Michael does it again. 103-101. The Bulls go to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 5th straight year. They are a perfect 7-0 in the playoffs and have won 9 straight going back to last year.
Tipped off Sunday afternoon at the most famous arena in the world. First quarter, Patrick Ewing, the runner, around 3 Bulls, the hoop. And the Knicks go up by 3. Ewing, 13 points in the first quarter. Jordan over Starks. He had 17 first-half points. Knicks tried to stifle Scottie Pippen. Pippen wide open. Charles Smith fails to rotate. Pippen at 24. More Pippen. The pull-up jumper. This one over Anthony Mason. Then they got physical with Pippen. They think they can do this. Bulls up by 4 at the break. Oakley levels Pippen. Bulls respond. Doc Rivers. And that is Pippen. The emphatic block. The teams exchange words. Pippen had quite a few things to say to Charles Smith during the afternoon. Jordan had his problems. A little push on Starks and called for the foul. Knicks go up by 3 after 3. The Knicks starting to break down that D. Doc goes wide open. Knicks by 5. And Phil starting to get concerned because John Starks for 3. John Starks for 3. John Starks for 3. I don't think my voice can go up any higher. John Starks for 3. 4 threes in the fourth. Knicks by 9. 4 minutes to go. Anthony Mason. The pump fake. And just tickled pink, saying roll it over and playing dead. Not today. Knicks up by 11. Mike starts to make a run late in the fourth. Slaps the ball away. Off Doc's knee. 5 steals in the game for Mike. And then, as only Michael can do, death-defying leap. Horace Grant misses. Scott Williams is there, and the Bulls down by only 4 and still plenty of time. 1 minute to go. Doc Rivers. Anthony Mason. This one is over. Knicks by 6. Mason scored 7 in a row. And Pat picks up the victory, 98-90. It's like I'm on a first-name basis. Pat Riley picks up the victory, 98-90, the final.
To the bad shot, then starts again on Jordan. Michael misses. This is the reason his shooting percentage is down. 37% from the field in the series so far. 10 of 27 in game 1, 12 of 32 in game 2. Late in game 2, Starks hustling again. We saw one of these floor sliders in the opening game of the series. Offensively, starts from just inside three-point range and hits. In the second half, he works the screen and roll and hits for 52%, including 6 of 10 three-pointers for Starks in the series. And the key play, this is the exclamation point. They drive over Grant and Jordan there trying to help out Starks, winning the battle there.
Banner 3, just a mirage at this point. Early on in this one, the Knicks continue to clamp down on Michael. His drive denied by a helping Rolando Blackman. Michael took more than 30 shots in game 2 and was criticized Saturday. He found the open man, John Paxson. Next time, Jordan finds Trent Tucker. Bulls getting everyone involved. They lead by 16 in the second. Give John Paxson time to square up and face the bucket. He'll kill you. 5 of 7, 14 points. Meantime, MJ doubled, tripled all day. Starks the steal. He fumbles and in frustration kicks it into the third row. The Knicks seem to lose their poise. Scottie Pippen criticized for not taking it strong. Takes it strong. 2 of his 29. Pippen could not be denied. The fadeaway goes. Chicago could not be denied. They are back in this series. 2 titles, yes, but down 2-1 in this series. 103-83. Total team effort for the Bulls. 5 in double figures.
Knicks got on the board first. John Starks hit a 3, and the Knicks were trying to set a tone. We're not going to fall behind early like we did in game 3. But still in the first, Starks goes for the steal. Michael eludes him. Starts finding the three-point arc. Buries the first of 3 threes in the first. Starks answers again. 3 from the other side. He rips court, had 13, but Jordan was even hotter. 17 in the first. Chicago led by 4. Starks answers on one side, Jordan on the other. Michael had 27 at the half. The Chicago lead 9. Jordan was 7 of 8 shooting in the third quarter. The Bulls had a 9-point lead. Jordan was on his way to another unbelievable performance, but nobody else was scoring for Chicago, and the Knicks were staying in it. Ewing scores, keeps them within 7. Up 8 after 3. More Jordan. .50 right there. His 6th 50-point playoff game, but he picked up foul 5 in the fourth quarter, had to come out. Starks and Grant here with a little pushing and shoving and some words exchanged. At this point, the Bulls were up only 6. Michael was out of the game for a stretch. And the good shots went, like that roller from BJ, who had just 3 field goals against Pat Riley's team. Scottie Pippen was 3 of 13, but hit this incredible falling shot to put the Bulls up 7. That really clinched it against the Knicks. They would stay close. Ewing on the baseline. He had 24, like Starks did. Knicks back within 5, but too much Jordan down the stretch. Blows away Doc Rivers after sitting out for a while with those 5 fouls. The rest of the Bulls kept them around, and Michael kept them on top. The eternal MVP with a 54 spot as the Bulls win by 10. Hold home serve, make the best of 7, the best of 3. Jordan, after 54 in game 4, wanted at least 10 assists on the evening. He got 14, including this one to Scottie Pippen. Bulls by 3 after 1. Second quarter, Knicks answer, breaking the press. Starks the dunk, and the Knicks take a 6-point lead. But back come the Bulls. Big game out of Pippen, 12 of 23 shooting, including the facial on Starks. Knicks by 1 at the break. To the second half, and it's Jordan. Watch it right over every last inch of Patrick Ewing's hand. The Bulls took a 7-point lead. The Knicks needed a big hoop, and they get it, and they get a 3 from Ewing. He had 33. That only the 3rd 3 of his career. But Jordan was carrying this team on his back again. He scored 17 in a row. Mid-3rd to late 4th, he had 29 in the game. Gets you to the end now. Knicks by 1. $1:20 left. This may be the biggest shot of the game. B.J. Armstrong hits a 3, and the Bulls lead by 2. Their lead is 1 after the Knicks missed a bunch of free throws. 20 seconds left. Starks to Ewing. Drives left, loses his balance, finds Charles Smith, who goes up once and gets denied. Goes up twice, gets stripped by Jordan. Collects it, loses it, gets blocked by Pippen. A fortuitous bounce to Grant, who finds Jordan. With the Knicks down 1, they have to foul. They can't. Jordan makes the good pass to BJ. As the clock says 0, the scoreboard says Bulls 3, Knicks 2. Watch the final sequence one more time. Horace Grant, terrific defense. Then a sidestep by Smith. Jordan strips him of the ball. No foul there. That time, Smith didn't handle it. A good block from behind by Pippen. You could say a lot of things here. You could say Smith should have gotten fouled, should have played bigger. You could say there could have been a foul. It was decided on the court by the players, and the Bulls, the better players in this one. They've won 3 straight. They're 1 win from a chance to win a 3rd straight title.
See what happens. The Suns looking to be the bullfighters. That's a lot easier said than done. Jordan, the nice bounce pass to Horace Grant. He hit on 5 and 9, and the Bulls by 10. Scottie Pippen, great pass. Good hands by Scott Williams for the layup. The Bulls by 20. Things not looking good for Paul Westphal. Suns do come back. Barkley, Oliver Miller. Miller had only 6. The Bulls by 11 at the break. More Suns in the 3rd quarter. Frank Johnson played a solid 9 minutes. Dan Marley hit only 1 of 4 from long range. KJ misses. Richard Dumas is there for the monster jam. He scored 20 in 42 minutes. The Bulls lead is only 4 after 3. 4th quarter, Chicago shines. MJ, the hanging left-hander, 14 of his 31 in quarter number 4. Scottie Pippen, the hanging right-hander. 27 points for Scottie. B.J. Armstrong, same spot he killed the Knicks with a 3. He does it again. B.J. also dished out 5 assists. Scottie finishes it off, hit on 12 of 20. A rude awakening to the NBA Finals for Charles and company. They lose 100-92. The Bulls 15 and 1 in the postseason series when they win the first game. Jordan's 31 points, moving him past Elgin Baylor on the all-time playoff scoring list. Charles Barkley has been a one-man wrecking crew. KJ can't handle the pass. Charles says, all right, I'll do it myself. Against Horace Grant, he goes baseline. He had 25 in the first half. The Bulls would return fire. BJ to Horace for the stuff on Barkley. Grant, 10 of 13. The Bulls worked a give and go. Pippen to Jordan, nice dish to Grant, 45-39. Horace had 24, and Charles was fired up in search of support. Tom Chambers misses. Barkley, the offensive rebound. He had 13 boards. Then from the top of the key, it's Barkley on Stacey King. He hit 10 of 12 from the line, and the Suns trail 6 at the half, 59-53. Then it's Jordan losing the ball. Marley takes it in, uses his left hand. He scored 13, and the Suns are down 1. Phil Jackson wants his team to step up, and they do on D. KJ drives. It's blocked by Williams. Armstrong the other way. Off the glass, the Bulls up 87-84 after 3. Barkley trying to get the rebound. Goes down hard. Will it stop him? Nothing would. Through the Bulls defense for the bucket, and the Suns lead 91-89, but here comes MJ from BJ. The hoop and the foul. Jordan, 18 of 36. The Bulls by 6. He scores 42. The fake and the pop. It's 106-98 Chicago. 29 to go, and Scottie in Danny's face for the block. This is the 2nd game in a row. Charles leaves shaking his head. The final, 111-108. MJ missing the triple-double by only 1. Along with his 42 points, he grabbed 12 rebounds, dished out 9 assists. Charles Barkley was the Phoenix Suns. He matched Michael's 42, also grabbed 13 boards. Scottie Pippen had a triple-double, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists. This
night, the Suns appeared at home, though, in the 3rd quarter. Dan Marley awakening in the series, one of his many threes, and Paul Westphal's team had the lead after 3. It would grow. Barkley to Ainge, who buries the 3. Suns by 11 inside of 6 minutes to play. But the Bulls rally. The old off-the-back inbounds pass. Pippen with the dunk. Chicago back within 3. Next possession, Jordan to Horace Grant. Game tied at 101 with $1:33 to play. For the closing seconds of regulation, KJ strips Michael. The lead pass to Marley, who has a dunk. Wait a minute, you heard a whistle right there. Why? KJ called timeout after the steal. Westphal couldn't call it off in time. So in the closing seconds of regulation, Charles, a chance to win it, can't get it done. Bulls called timeout. Barkley, one more chance to win it, closing seconds, and then the mad scrum. 2 Suns fight for it. Ainge for the win, but it rims out. And Westphal agonizes. We go to a 2nd overtime, tied at 107. Marley, the big shot right there, ties it. We go to a 3rd overtime, 114 apiece. In the third extra session, Marley, the deep three, buries it. Biggest shot of the game right there. Suns up by 1. Then the clincher. Stacey King will get the rebound, then make the awful pass, and Barkley for the steal and the layup. The Suns crawling all over the floor with exhaustion and exuberance. 129-121 in 3 overtimes. The Bulls lead cut to 2-1, their first home loss in this year's playoffs, but they're now just 3-3 at home in the last 3 finals. 63 minutes, the Suns shoot 31 free throws, the Bulls shoot 9. Phil Jackson has snapped.
Tonight at the sold-out stadium in Chicago. Would the home team win a game in the finals? Well, the Suns start quick. Good defense. Richard Dumas, the steal, takes B.J. Armstrong around the world. Dumas had 17. But the Bulls say weak and fast break, too. Michael to B.J., who's going to lay it up, and Scotty's going to throw it down. Pippen had 14 after the hoop. KJ and B.J. with some pushing, and B.J. gets called for the foul. Bulls by 1 after 4. Then Michael weaving through the team. Bulls by as many as 9. Closing seconds of the half, though, Dan Marley hits 2 threes, including this one with Michael in his face. The Bulls lead just 3 at the break, despite 33 from Michael Jordan, who just continued in the second half. The head fake on Marley in the fall-away. Then Jordan, the drive in the lane. Everyone converges. Michael scores it with 1, and Westphal is concerned. His team frustrated. Danny Ainge, in-your-face defense by Jordan. He throws it away, and those two were face-to-face quite some time. Bulls by 5 after 3, but in the fourth, KJ took more of the offensive load despite a little bit of an injury. He scores there, but Michael 1-on-4. How many times did he do that to Paul Westphal's defense? More scuffling. Jordan and Ainge, a little elbow from Jordan, a little overreaction from Ainge. They come to blows for the second time in this game. Ainge got the fouls here, but the Suns really get close. KJ, terrific look to Barkley. 1 minute left, 2-point Bulls lead. Suns a chance to tie. KJ just plain fumbled it. BJ the steal, and in the same possession, Michael drives, draws the contact from Charles, hits the incredible shot on an incredible night for Michael Jordan, who had a second best in the finals ever, 55 points. And the Chicago Bulls, 1 win from the triple title, 111-105. Phoenix down 3-1. No one has ever come back from a 3-1 deficit to win the NBA championship. It's the first time this season the home team has won when Phoenix and Chicago play. Barkley, as you see, a triple-double, but Michael's 55, tied for second best final scoring performance.
Bubble burst with a Game 7 before. So in the first quarter, both teams come out shooting hot. B.J. Armstrong hits 1 3. Hits another. He was 4 for 5 from behind the line tonight. Michael Jordan, the 3-ball. Bulls up by 11 after a quarter. Tom Chambers coming off the 1 minute in Game 5. Played stronger game tonight. The reverse dunk. Suns down only 2. Later in the second quarter, Scotty, the explosive first step. The dunk over Barkley. Bulls by 5 at the break. Third quarter, Jordan against KJ. Reduced to a jump shooter, but hits this baseline shot. The Bulls would build the lead back to 10. KJ would help bring them back. The penetration, the foul on Armstrong, it counts. Still a 7-point Chicago lead, though. Early in the fourth, Barkley, the fake, the drive ties the game at 88. The Suns had the crowd. They had momentum. The next possession, Jordan answers a short jumper in the lane, but he would have to work for his points. Bulls by 2. Then the Suns answer. Marley, the deep 3. He had 21. Phoenix had a 1-point lead. Suns played strong defense in the fourth quarter. The Bulls were tentative. No rhythm on offense. 3 24-second clock violations for Chicago in the fourth quarter. Westphal pumped. 40 seconds to go, though. No defense for this. They just part. Michael with a vintage drive pulls the Bulls back within 2. He had all 9 points at that point in the fourth quarter for Chicago. Still down 2. The penetration to Grant, to an open Paxson. The legacy of his career may be clinching shots from behind the 3-point line. Did it 2 years ago against the Lakers. 4 seconds to go, though, for the Suns. And KJ with the penetration. The seemingly open shot, but Horace Grant recovers, makes the rejection. So Grant, for the second consecutive game, no field goals, but 2 big plays. The embrace between Jordan and Barkley, and the historical 3-peat for Chicago. The first team in 27 years to win 3 straight titles. Only the 3rd team in history, the Lakers in Minneapolis, and of course the Celtics. The Bulls 10 of 14 threes. They had only 12 points in the fourth quarter, an all-time low in the finals. Pippen 23, Michael 33, Charles 7 of 18.